What's up, guys? Welcome back. That's right, the G35 LS sedan is back. We are here to make some improvements and some changes. Also, there's been a little bit of a noise. I don't know if you guys have seen Mike's video yet or if he's even posted it yet. I know he was here dropping it off and we were test driving it. Anyway, to give you guys a little update, I think that the transmission and the drive shaft, since we had to cut a custom drive shaft for it, I think it's like exactly as long as the transmission. And so when you preload the motor, when you're in like third, you're taking off, you can actually hear it whining and kind of screaming. I think it might have taken out the trans, but that's one of the things that we have to do. Not necessarily today. I'm waiting on Mike to get a new transmission for it, but we are going to swap the intake manifold. You guys remember this had this pretty intake manifold, had the infinity sign on it, carbon fiber, everything looked really good on it, and then there was a leak with the fuel rail and we weren't able to run it, so we had to put the factory one back on. But Mike has it back and we are gonna swap it, so it's time to make a little bit more content on this car. I know you guys have seen this thing driving, running. It's been a daily for him. It's been a really good car, but ever since the drive shaft took out the transmission, and you know, it looks good in here, don't get me wrong, it looks factory, it looks pretty, but it doesn't look as good as it did look. So let's get it up to par. You can see the box is in the back right there, and yeah, here we go. All right, so unbox this bad boy. I already cut it open. Give you guys a little reminder. Y'all remember this big dog, right? So they redid it, they resealed it, new gaskets, new fuel line, I think. So we're gonna be putting this jammy in. It looks a whole lot bigger than this one. I really like how the factory one looks, but that one, especially in this car, I think just makes it like that much better. So we're gonna start undoing this, and then we're gonna put that one in, and then we're gonna see kind of the revamp of how the engine bay should look. Oh yeah, and you can't forget this big dog. Big dad. 112 millimeter throttle body. Shiny too. All right, so unpackaged. Here is the bolts for the manifold itself. Here's the fuel rail part. I will have to put that on, and then all of this is already screwed down, so we have all of this. Let's undo. All right, so those all undone. Okay, all those. Oh yeah, I guess I gotta undo these too. There. That'll be much better. Save the washers. And now it should lift up. Awesome. So yeah, so we'll have to reinstall, damn, this part on there. I think it has, yeah, it has an O-ring, so I don't have to do anything to the threads in there. So we'll install that first, and then, man, I'm gonna have to undo these so I can put the bolts in and through. Maybe? Might be able to sneak them in. I don't know, we're gonna assess that when we set it in. All right, so the problem we had last time, I think there's thread sealer on here and the gas ate it up and this wasn't able to sit all the way on there. So what I'm doing is I'm just gonna spin this on here and we're gonna crush this O-ring, and once I know that it's on there and snug, it should be fine. That was our problem last time. The gas was spitting out in here, and because this was covered, we couldn't see it, but Mike, while he was driving, could really smell it because this thing was like saturated in fuel. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna sit this back down onto the O-rings, and then we're gonna put the bolts in here, and this will be ready to go on. Then all we have to do is just pull this out, put the new one on. It shouldn't take that long. I've done like 10 of these by now, but I mean, y'all know how it goes. Before we go any farther, I want to address the Datsun situation. I've had a lot of people ask me what happened to the Datsun, and actually in like 3 videos ago, I explained everything what happened with it, but you can see it's not here. I sold it. The reason why I sold it is because I have been so busy with all of the stuff going on in my life, with the pregnancy, with going down and working with Forsberg, not being home, not taking on jobs here, the car was literally sitting outside just collecting rainwater and dirt and rust and whatever. And because that project was gonna take so much time, so much money, so much attention, I didn't have it. And so that's one of the things that I decided to do, was sell it. I'm gonna get another one. It's not the end of the Datsun era, I promise, but the next one that I'm gonna get, I do want to be running so I can drive it around and I can kind of like do little things at a time. I know there's gonna be stuff to fix. It's like a 40-year-old car, and so 40, 50-year-old car, depending on what year I get. And so, yeah, so that's what happened with the Datsun. For all y'all out there that was like following because of the Datsun, I'm sorry. I do a lot of restoration stuff with a lot of different cars, a lot of projects. You guys see what happens with me and Mike with all the stuff that we do there. And so right now I'm kind of on a fast track. I'm super pumped, super stoked about the Chris Forsberg stuff. I'm really trying to focus a lot on that. And, you know, I'm trying to like kind of simmer down a little bit on the projects here. Mike and I will always be building cars and doing stuff together, so that you guys will never have to worry about. I mean, it's in our blood, it's what we do. We love to, you know, mess around with all kind of stuff and, you know, push the limits and do stuff like that. But that's one of the things that is gonna be for a later date. So for the Datsun guys, really sorry about that. But let's get back to brass tacks. Let's get this thing going. I wanna pull this thing out real quick and then we're gonna set this thing in here. So here we go. So everything now secured. I put the injectors all along here. I put the injectors all along here, kind of hidden. That's the one thing I like about this manifold too. It kind of sits down in this groove. You're not able to see all the injector wiring. This is nice and tight. We got the fuel line back on. I made sure that the clip is nice and secure. You can see the insides are all pressed out. So all of the manifold bolts are down. I'm gonna hit them one more time and make sure, get my little wobble, my little cheater, and then I'm gonna run through all of these. We're gonna put the lid on, put the intake on, and we're gonna start it and see how it sounds. Everything all tight. Grab this jammy. All right, here we go. I love how this thing looks on. Ooh. All right, let's get the bolts, put it on, put the throttle body on. Now it looks proper. All right, so it looks clean. I double checked to make sure everything's plugged in, everything's secure. We're gonna grab the keys right here. And before we do anything to start it, I wanna put some fuel pressure to it and make sure that we're not getting the same leak like we did last time. So come in here. Okay, fuel pump on. I don't smell anything. I don't hear anything. Everything's plugged in. Ooh. All right, we'll try and crank this thing. All right, so I just turned it off. I left it on. I just want to make sure that with the fuel pressure to the fuel rail, we don't hear, see, smell. Everything seems to be completely normal. Yes, yes. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do after this, I think we're gonna turn this off real quick. We do have to jack it up So because the noise of the transmission, because of the drive shaft, it was putting a bunch of pressure on the output shaft, we do have to change, excuse me, the transmission. And I'm gonna take the drive shaft out, and I think that we are gonna take it down, probably not today. It's like 3 o'clock and traffic's probably gonna be really bad on the way up to Sacramento. Through like Davis and stuff, and we're in Baaackk. It'll take about an hour to get there. So I think maybe this weekend we'll take off the drive shaft. Well, we're gonna take the drive shaft off today, but I think we'll take it out there. And I think the drive shaft length was like 53.5 inches. I think I wanna take like maybe an inch off so this doesn't happen again. We are waiting on the new transmission. So once we get the new transmission, then we can take this one out, put the new one in. Hopefully by then the drive shaft will be back. We can slap it up in here and this car will be done, good to go. And I don't know if Mike got it tuned with this or if he might have just gotten it tuned with the factory one. So he might have to take it to the appointment to get tuned again, but it's all back to exactly how we wanted it. Everything looks good. We got to throw that new light on here. Actually, I think he got new ones. These ones were an amber light, and I think the new ones are going to be all white. So this thing will be, man, it's gonna look so good. I'm pumped on it again. But yeah, I think first, me and the girl are gonna get out of here. We're gonna go grab like a, I don't know, a Dutch or something. You guys know me, it's 3 o'clock. It's like coffee time, caffeine, reinvigorate the second half of the day. So we're gonna go grab that right now and then we'll be back. We'll jack this thing up and get the drive shaft out, kind of inspect underneath. So here we go. All right, and we're back. We just ran out to Dutch. One thing I wanted to show you that I forgot about, we are gonna have to do this setting unit installation. This is the thing we're gonna be modifying. I'll show you when I do it. I'm not doing it in this video. I'll probably do it in the video that I do the transmission on this, because I do have to take the fuel pump out, and while I'm like down and under and dirty and all of that, we will modify this, install this. This is so that way there's more fuel pressure, I mean volume, for the E85 for this. It was actually falling on its face, and you don't really see it on the graph or on the dyno while it's under pump gas, but because E85 uses a lot more, then we're gonna need a bigger orifice for the gas to flow. So we're gonna do that. That'll be something you guys can look forward to. Right now I'm gonna jack this up, and I think we are gonna empty all of the trans fluid. Since I do have to do a transmission in it, I don't have to put the plug like I normally do. And also it'll give us an opportunity to see kind of what the fluid looks like, see if there's metal shavings in it. Probably clean that out. But yeah, let's jack this up and then we'll empty out the trans fluid and kind of see where we're sitting with it. All right, clean the pan all out. Put it up under here. You can see the drain plug right here is a 10mm. Knock this thing loose. And we'll see kind of how this fluid looks. Hopefully it's not, ooh, that thing's tight. There's a vent, also the fill plug on the other side that I'll probably take out, because this is kind of going to kind of glop out, but we'll do. Fluid doesn't look too bad actually. All right, drain plug back on. We'll pull this out, kind of see if we can see any metal stuff. We'll put it in the sun here. Oh yeah, you can see. See how it's all swirly? Yep. Well, that transmission's done. We thought it would be, but this right here just secures it. You can see all that metal. It really shouldn't have this, especially with the fact that it's a manual transmission. So yeah, that's a lot though. I wonder if I just put my finger. Yeah, you can see it's like glistening. Might be hard to see on camera, but all right, well, at least we were right about that. So that transmission's done. So where's a rag? We'll be changing that, but I think that might call it for today. I don't really have any point of pulling the drive shaft out yet. I have to make a call to the transmission shop or the drive shaft shop and you know, get an appointment and see kind of what they want to do. I don't know if they're gonna have to build a new one or if they can modify this one down, maybe cut it, bevel the edge, and you know, just take it down about an inch. So other than that, yeah, I think it's time to go in. we're gonna be chilling for the rest of the day. Like today was kind of just hang out in the garage, take care of some stuff here. It's been nice to be home and be able to just like get back on the grind, do stuff like this, and you know, reconnect with y'all. So, but we're gonna call it. I'm gonna go in, hang out, shower, edit this video, and yeah, I hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend. I hope you guys have been well. I hope your families have been well, and I will see you guys in the next video. Much love, peace.